So we're all lined up in the morning, first on the pumps, $1.90 for fuel. So these guys are both, well, Neil doesn't need a bladder because he's got 30 litres on board. He's got 20 litres on board, but he's taking an extra few litres. Chris and I, on the African Twins, we're taking an extra 9 litres each, which should get us to 450. Just looking at the wind and the conditions, we have a bit of a headwind for a while, so that's going to be an issue for us. But everything else should be fine, and reasonably nice day. It's a bit cool, it's about 11 degrees, but should be a good day for a ride here to Birdsville today, about 450 k's, and most of it's going to be off-road. So mate, just run us through the damage from your sudden gust of gravity yesterday.
Which one? The first one or the second? First one or the second one?
Well, the one we've got video evidence of.
Okay, so the first one was probably about 60, 70 clicks. Pretty hard down actually. Only damage really is I chopped the cable off the back of my really wide spotlights. Right, so they're not going to work anymore. Right. And just the brake reservoir, which normally sits in here, it just snapped off.
They've been cable tied behind.
I put it in behind the frame, and just this bit of useless plastic, really.
Yeah,
that's it.
And then the other side?
Yeah, the other side, I had to even it up, right? So
the low side one side and the high side the other side.
That's the first side down, first time.
Yep.
So I had to do the other side. And
we don't have any video of this one.
No evidence, but there's some aftermath evidence. So exactly the same thing happened.
Oh no.
Fortunately, I've wired these up with a waterproof plug, so it's just a matter of rewiring that, which is easy. We can't do it on this trip, but we don't plan on riding in the dark.
So the bash plate did its job? No damage to anything?
That paid for itself well and truly, this thing.
Yep.
What a great
Actually hit a couple of rocks yesterday too that you kind of said, well that's paid for
Yeah, we went past a truck and one come bouncing along and just went thack underneath there, and
would have been an engine casing for sure.
It was probably the size of a cricket ball.
Yeah. That's for you American viewers, that's about a baseball size, yeah.
So I'm very, very glad. Good old B&B.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
There's a much narrower profile on this now. In the morning, here we go. Everyone's full of fuel. We've had breakfast. It's 9 o'clock local time. So we have got a big day ahead. It's becoming very corporate in Aminka now. It's kind of at the point now where they get so many tourists going through. I think they said last night they booked out 13 months ahead. Some of the tours, some of the coach groups booked out 13 months ahead. Yeah, righto. The original desert plan was for us to leave the trailer with the bikes on it there and then head out across the desert from here, leaving the bike trailer here and with barriers as support crew. But that didn't eventuate, so this time we're going the other way. Doing this, taking the big bikes, just waiting on Chris and Chris. I was looking in the mirror, there seems to be a whole heap of activity, none of which is related to riding motorbikes this direction. Neil's gone. So that's in Aminka, right there, that's it. I didn't even bother putting the drone up. This looks like KTM, Chris. Yeah, it's the KTM.
You had to hand in his key for his room.
So, he what?
Room key.
He's handing it back.
Eh?
What was he doing?
Handing in his room. Okay.
Neil's gone. Do you know where to go? Here we go. Straight into it. It's going to be an economy run today. Because we're going to be right out on the outside edge of our fuel range today, so we'll be watching that for sure. Alrighty guys, well listen, I'll tell you, this is the 5th day I think. What's it, for Sunday morning? So I left Brisbane on Wednesday. Thursday we rode out to Boulogne. Friday to Nakundra. Saturday to Inaminka, and then Inaminka today to Birdsville. So yep, we're well and truly out in the outback now, that's for sure. Watching that wind direction. And this is what we're going to have to contend with all day. Just that slow drifting dust coming across the road. So the wind is just drifting across. So our plan for today was to head back east towards Queensland and then north along Arrabarry Road up to the Cordillo Downs Road junction. We'd then follow the Cordillo Downs Road back into South Australia and then stop at the Cordillo Downs shearing shed and then continue on north back up to the Birdsville Development Road, and then we'd head west again towards Birdsville, and that would be our day, about 450 k's. Another truck. Queensland now, back on the bitumen. Can't see Neil, looks like he's taken off. Okay, he'll probably wait at the Arrabarry intersection, which is probably about 40 k's away, I reckon. He's heading straight into a headwind now, so we're just going to take it very steady. All aboard. Yep.
The fuel economy's not so good.
Not so good.
I'm thinking on here like
uphill and into the wind. So, oh, we're all the same. Talking about fuel economy, how bad it is. We're basically heading into the wind. It's kind of coming in from the quarter here. We're fully loaded. We're going uphill. So everyone's got bad fuel economies. It's going to be interesting. So I'm just going to sit on the left side of the road so that wind blows away. This is all new to me. I've not been here before. This is Arrabarry Road. I have been on the other end of Arrabarry Road when I came out here with Barry and Neil in 2017, I think it was. And we did the Haddon Corner trip. Check this out. Look at that road. Just veering off into the mountains there. That's the mountain range actually got a name, and I can't think of it right now. much. It's probably about 50 kilometres away, so hopefully we'll get to go up through that somehow. The fuel economy is just getting worse actually every kilometre. 6.4 down. There's that wind. I'm doing the best I can to keep the dust down behind. I mean, in terms of going the opposite side of where the wind is blowing, just to give these fellas behind me a chance. But it's so bad. Talk about changing track conditions. Turned into this kind of sandy desert. Although I do prefer this to those rocky roads. This is much better. So we're starting to get into the dune country now, on these parallel dunes. Been running between the parallel dunes for quite a while now, but you can see we're just going to have to turn and go up over a couple of them in a minute. It's going to be soft sand. It's alright. It's very green though. This is the desert. It's not supposed to be green like this. There's so much water out here recently. So good. Here we go. Beautiful big girl, this one. Just we keep swinging back around into that wind. Oh. You can't really see it in the trees because they're all so small, but they're really quite windy. Coming up to an intersection shortly, so I'll pull up there and we'll regroup, rehydrate, bit of a chat. It's not until you stop that you realise how strong that wind is. Just really, really strong. We're just having a talk about it. Chris has gone, what's that on his bike? So, a bag or something on his, you might have to put it up on the centre stand, mate, I reckon. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a hand.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Keep going. Take that off.
There's no flies when it's windy. They can't fly in the wind. It's an old dad joke. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk! Alright. That's road fatigue, that is. So let me pan that again. Just nothing out here at all. So we're on Arrowberry Road at the turn off to Cordillo Downs. So we're going to go to the left to Cordillo. We're going to eventually end up in Birdsville anyway. Yeah, we should have videoed that. Set the camera up. So we're all running really bad economy. It's just this wind. I mean, you can hear it on the microphone now. It's just... So we've emptied our bladders into the bikes. So technically we should have 300 kilometres, which is kind of nearly as far as we need to go. 320, isn't it? Something like that. 300, 320. We'll find out. We'll find out. That wind is just shocking. But we've got some backup fuel here. So hopefully we'll be right. Back on the road. Alright, so we're just getting back on the road. Had that little drama with Chris's bike. We had to actually take the wheel off to get that out. Got about 320 k's to go. Got about 300 k's range in the tank, so touch and go. We're travelling with the wind now, so hopefully we can get some improved fuel economy. I want to get it back down into the 5s. It's been sitting on 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. We're not riding into it anymore, but we will later because we have to turn and head back north, so it's going to be a bit of an issue for us. So back into South Australia now, back in the South Australian border, so we've spent the morning in Queensland and now we're going back into South Australia. Big rocks on these roads. I'm down the back now. Chris and Neil and Chris have taken off up ahead, so I'm the one eating the dust. So the next place we stop at is going to be the Cordillo Downs wool shed, which is the largest wool shed, or was. I don't know if it still is, but again from the 1800s, largest wool shed in the world, I think, or the Southern Hemisphere or something. I'll have to check that. But it's pretty windy, but I might throw the drone up just quickly to see if I get some proper shots of that. Look at these red dunes. Awesome. Love the colours. Wow. That's just... bit of a ledge, and the back wheel went down one side and the front stayed up on top. Got a little bit out as your father. Don't panic. So they call this the Gibber Plain. The whole thing is just strewn with rocks. That's what this section of road is known for. We'll be coming up to a homestead shortly, Cordillo Downs. It's hard to believe that anyone can make a living out of this kind of country. Just nothing here. I mean, I haven't even seen any livestock. The only livestock we have seen is dead. I mean, just because they had a lot of water out here doesn't mean the drought is broken, that's for sure. Love this. This is so
good. This is why I love adventure riding. Just blasting across the countryside. And just experiencing. I mean, okay, it was with 4 guys, but we're all alone. We're all in our helmets with our own thoughts. Me and... fully loaded. Oh, boom. I tell you what, I'm glad I've got a heavy duty rim on the front. This is the wool shed. Alright, so that's the Cordillo Downs wool shed. Yeah, shearing shed. Alright. Been wanting to do that for a couple of years. We can tick that one off the list. At least we've got the wind behind us, which makes it warm. Yeah, it's just going slightly faster than the breeze. It's going to make the engine run a little bit hot. Ambient temperature is about 27. Average is 5.3, but it'll come down at this pace. The wind behind us. Well, after we left Cordillo Downs, it was about 160 kilometres up to the Birdsville Development Road. And to be honest, apart from when we stopped at the Cadelga Outstation Ruins, there was not much to see. There was just endless kilometres of desert and gibber plains and nothing. It was just extraordinary. So we hit the Birdsville Development Road. East-west roads, and the one we've been looking for, 117. Oh, I don't know, she's borderline. I've got 1 bar left and then my reserve, and it's 117 kilometres. What have you got? You got 3 bars? Yeah, that last one really killed me, just heading into that wind. Yeah. I'll just send Chris a message and I'll just tell him we'll keep trucking. So we hit the Birdsville Development Road and then ran basically straight west and made it into Birdsville. Now the tank on the Africa Twin is 18.5 litres. I put 18.2 litres in the tank. Sighed a big sigh of relief when we pulled into Birdsville and I was able to make it to the fuel station without having been pushed. I think at this stage, Chris on the other Africa Twin, he still had 3 litres left. And Chris on the KTM actually ran out of fuel on the Birdsville Development Road. But because he had the other 10 litres on board, he was able to use that to get into Birdsville, no problem. I think Neil sailed in on the Exxon Valdez with, 8 or 9 litres remaining in his tank, so he was still pretty good. But we arrived at the Birdsville pub, sat down, and washed the dust away with a few drinks.
Adv-Ryder-Bloke.
Yes.
Tell me about your day.
Mate, it was an awesome day. Very long day.
Yep. I mean, it was only 450 k's.
Yeah, but 8 hours.
Yep.
Which is what we sort of planned on.
Yep.
That road, and what is it?
Adv-Ryder-Bloke.
at the start there. My God.
It was pretty
that
harsh.
was just boulder dodging.
Yep.
Bloody pinball game. That's what that was.
Bouncing off one to
Yeah.
the other, and you'd try to avoid one and you'd hit another. It was shocking.
I mean, you committed into a line and
Yep.
there ain't nothing you can do about it. But
It was a great evening. Great day riding, and we're looking forward to heading out to the sand dunes and Big Red tomorrow.